First off, I just want to say welcome. So I just thought I would talk a little bit about, my background, my story, how I got to where I am right now. And then we'll talk a little bit on just kind of discovering who we are in our homes and how we want to feel in our homes and going from there. I think a lot of times as women, mothers, we are always thinking about everyone else. I do this too. I have a son. He's 9. I'm married. So, he's got dogs and chickens. And so, I'm always thinking about everyone else, making everyone else happy and feeling good. From personal experience, I have learned that when I do slow down and spend a minute and take care of myself and really tune into what I need and what feels good to me, I definitely can produce better and be a better friend, mom, wife, daughter, sister, whatever it is. And it really comes down to when my cup is full, then I really can fill those other cups and can really be and feel like a good mom, be and feel like a good wife, be and feel like a good friend. So it's about taking care of you first. At least from my experience, finding out who I was and how to take care of myself within my home was really beneficial for me and has helped me so much, even outside my home, gaining the confidence and understanding who I am and what I want and how I want to feel in my home. And working through that has helped me put that even further, take that out of the home into, if I've built a business, I have all these other things happening that I'm not sure would have happened before had I not gone through this journey. I think I've talked about or I've heard about how I have ADHD. And so I am a person who definitely likes to switch things up. I like to change things. I like to move things around. It's part of my creative process, with my clients too. If a space isn't feeling good, switch it up, move things around, change it up, switch out some pillows. I believe that decor can really help a space out so much. I love designing my different rooms. I switch my room up all the time, just kind of depending on how I feel. And I just want to invite others to do the same and not feel like you have to do it this way and it's got to stay like that forever. That's not the case at all. I think that when you go through the process of really going through your stuff and being intentional about what you have, then you really can switch things up between different rooms and make it fun. So we're going to be talking about styling and just all kinds of fun things. So let's see. I started Space and Soul about 2 years ago. So when we were all, heading into the COVID and we all getting in our houses, I had spent the year and year or two prior to that kind of already gone through my home and really made some huge shifts within all the stuff I had. And buying more stuff and then just throwing things in places, not having any systems. I really dove into that the 2 years prior to COVID. So when COVID happened, it yeah, it sucked, right? I mean, it sucked for a lot of us, but being stuck in our houses didn't feel bad to me because my house felt good. I had really spent time being intentional about the things that were in our home, creating systems that we could manage and work with. And so when COVID happened, I almost felt bad in ways because I knew a lot of people were really struggling in their homes and I can feel that. But we weren't. And I really, really uphold it to the fact that I had done that massive purge, decluttering mindset shift, all of the stuff that the work I had done in our home. And so it was a place that really felt good to be in. It felt comforting and nurturing, and things were really scary and unknown in the outside world, but we felt okay at home. And so that was really inspiring to me. And I just truly believe that the universe works and in really cool ways. it just so happened that I was given this opportunity to take this course that had to do all about starting an organizing business. Like, what do you do? I was going to be stuck at home, homeschooling with my son. And I was like, yeah, like, why not? Like, so I spent that time really diving into the business part of things. I like launched my business during like COVID. A lot of my first clients, like we were wearing masks and working together, but like it just goes to show like what a cool thing, when you really make changes and shifts to your life, like what comes out of it. Like doing that work in my house was not easy. And it took time and patience. And there were times where I was completely overwhelmed and just like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with it." But I kept going and I kept working at it and I did it little by little. And it took over a year. It really did. And I still do go through my house and make sure that keeping up with that, maintaining it. But doing that just was so impactful. And I'm like, I want other people to experience this. Like, this is important. We, just spent 2 years in our homes, right? I want people to feel good in their homes. I have lived in many, many homes throughout my life. We moved a lot. I've lived with different families and things like that. And so I have a lot of experience about home life and different home lives and, not feeling great in my home and kind of, I didn't grow up in anything organized and or anything like that, where it was kind of clutter and chaotic. And I definitely took that into my adulthood and was mimicking that same thing. And then for me, it really shifted. After I had my son, a lot of things changed for me. And I started to feel like, oh, I'm seeing the things that aren't so great that I'm holding on to in our home and it feels heavy and it doesn't feel good and it feels cluttered. I don't want to pass that on to my son. I don't want him to have to bear this burden, so to speak. And so that was really, another inspiration for me to start this business and well, to do the decluttering, which led into gaining all this knowledge, gaining this freedom, gaining this amazing feeling, which I gained like I want to show other people this is possible, that no matter where you come from in life, no matter the way you've always been this or learned to be this, like you can live in a home that feels good. It doesn't matter if it's a box out in the street, like the energy you put into the house is what you're going to feel. And when you have things in your house that you don't love, that are other people's that you're holding on to, that don't make you feel good, that don't look right or feel right, that is just all energy that's hanging out in your house. And that feels heavy after a while. And so really spending the time and being intentional about what you want to have in your house and what feels good and what doesn't is, I think, a skill that can change your life because you start applying it in your home and getting confident with yourself in your home, in your space and being like, yes, we need this. No, this is a no, and really having those definitive yeses and nos and listening to yourself on what you need and what you don't need, what you'll settle for, what you won't settle for, setting those boundaries within your home. That is all practice. That's all gaining confidence for you to apply it into the outside world as well. So this work, I truly believe it's not just the space in your home. It's the space in your mind. It's the space outside of your home. There's so much that can be gained in this. And I personally live the benefits of this work I've done. And I see it with the clients that I work with. You can just feel the difference when you're going through your stuff and you are being like, oh, I've constantly hold something, and then you're like, no, I don't need this. And it's almost like this sureness you start to gain within yourself. Like, why have I been holding on to this? Well, I thought I might da, da, da. Well, am I going to use it? Well, no, I'm not. Have you used it? When was the last time you used it? You start asking yourself these questions and really being like, oh, I actually don't need this and I can get rid of it. And you start talking through it and really start to just gain this confidence within yourself. And it becomes easier and easier to let go of the things that were once, holding you stuck. And it's really to be in it with clients is like, it's so fun for me because I can just feel their energy when they're like doing it and they have this sureness and they're like, yes, like I don't need this. Or maybe you have that sureness of like, oh my God, yes, I absolutely love this. This stays. This makes me feel good. I want this in my home. Like even like working on that, finding the things in your house that make you feel good. Why do they make you feel good? What is it about those things? Like starting to think that way and then like put a list together of some things in your house that you see that you're like, when I look at that, when I see that, when I touch that, whatever, that makes me feel really good. That makes me feel comforted. That makes me feel safe. That makes me feel cozy. That makes me feel energetic. Whatever it is for you, like whatever that word is and how you want to feel, like start noticing what those things are in your house. And then start noticing the things that don't make you feel good. No, every time I look at that, doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel good when I open this closet. Why? What is it? Well, there's a bunch of stuff in there. Like just start breaking those down, those questions, like or start asking those questions. It's kind of like the work we're going to be doing because we can, it can go in, we can do a massive purge and then leave and then but I feel like when we stop, when we are intentional, when we ask questions about our things, we really get an understanding of why we're holding on to it or why we need to let it go or why we need to keep it. And it creates the intention around it. And that way it's not just stuff lying around, which then accumulates and then you start to feel heavy and weighted and weighed down again. And that's not what we want. We want to feel good in our homes. So this is kind of like what we're going to be working on, what we're going to be talking about. I think I've covered all my bases. I don't want to overwhelm you too much, but if you have any questions about anything, if you have anything you want to work on or talk about, I think it's cool when we can like interact and talk about that. I'm looking forward to supporting you all more and getting to know you better.